what this was going to be. I just always knew that it would be the right thing for me, however it worked out.
Tibial plateau fracture. I actually didn't know what that meant. Right. I had no idea.
In the glittering world of fame and fortune, where every moment is captured, every smile photographed, and every word dissected, love stories unfold under the harshest spotlight imaginable. But when those fairy tales crumble, when the champagne toasts turn to bitter accusations, and when the red carpets roll up to reveal courtroom battles, the world watches with bated breath. These are not just breakups. These are public unravelings, messy exposures of private pain, and cautionary tales of what happens when romance collides with relentless fame. Tonight, we journey through the wreckage of Hollywood's most devastating splits, exploring relationships that didn't just end. They exploded. Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik, the storm that shattered a family. Our story begins with a relationship that seemed destined for forever, only to collapse in a scandal that shocked the entertainment world. Gigi Hadid, the supermodel whose face graces magazine covers worldwide, and Zayn Malik, the brooding former One Direction star who captivated millions with his voice, appeared to be the perfect modern couple. Their love story began in the winter of 2016, when two young stars at the peak of their careers found solace in each other amidst the chaos of fame. For years, their relationship played out like a dramatic novel, filled with passionate reunions and heartbreaking separations. They would break apart, only to find their way back to each other, as if bound by an invisible thread neither could sever. The world watched this dance, sometimes rooting for them, sometimes questioning whether their love was sustainable. But in September of 2020, everything changed. Gigi gave birth to their daughter, Kai, and for a moment, it seemed the turbulent waters had finally calmed. A child, many believed, would anchor them, would provide the stability their relationship had always lacked. But the calm was merely the eye of the storm. In the autumn of 2021, an incident occurred that would not only end their relationship, but expose deep fractures within the family structure. Zayn allegedly had a confrontation with Yolanda Hadid, Gigi's mother, that escalated beyond words. According to legal documents that would later surface, the singer was accused of shoving Yolanda into a dresser, causing both mental anguish and physical pain. The allegations painted a disturbing picture of a man who had allegedly referred to his partner's mother with vulgar profanity, creating an environment of hostility and fear. The most haunting detail: Gigi was not home when the altercation occurred. She was thousands of miles away in Paris, walking runways during Fashion Week, fulfilling her professional obligations while her personal world disintegrated. When news reached her, she immediately abandoned her commitments and rushed back, thrust into an impossible position between the man she loved and the mother who raised her. Zayn entered a no-contest plea to the charges, a legal maneuver that avoids admission of guilt while accepting punishment. Yet in public statements, he adamantly denied the claims, creating a he said she said scenario that left the truth murky and the public divided. A source close to the situation revealed to Us Weekly that the separation was not just necessary, but overdue. The insider described their romantic relationship as very destructive, suggesting that beneath the glamorous Instagram posts and paparazzi snapshots, there existed a volatile dynamic that was unsustainable. Now, the couple faces perhaps their greatest challenge yet, not reconciliation, but co-parenting. Two people who could barely maintain peace together must now navigate the complex terrain of shared custody, putting aside their personal grievances for the sake of their daughter. It is a battle being fought not with love, but with lawyers, a stark reminder that when celebrity relationships crumble, the debris can bury more than just a romance. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt, the triangle that defined a decade. As we move through the annals of celebrity heartbreak, few stories have captured the public imagination quite like the dissolution of Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt's marriage. In the early 2000s, they were not just a couple, they were Hollywood royalty. She was America's sweetheart, beloved for her role on the cultural phenomenon Friends. He was the golden boy, a leading man with movie star looks and undeniable charisma. Together, they represented what everyone hoped fame could be: glamorous yet relatable, successful yet grounded. But beneath the surface of their seemingly perfect union, cracks were forming. After their wedding, something shifted. The couple who had once been inseparable began appearing less frequently together. They smiled for cameras at premieres, but observers noted a distance in their body language, a lack of the spark that had once defined them. Whispers circulated through Hollywood's inner circles, suggesting tension over a fundamental disagreement that plagues many marriages' children. Brad, according to numerous sources, wanted to become a father. Jennifer, at that point in her career and life, did not share that urgency. This divergence in life goals created an insurmountable rift, though neither addressed it publicly at the time. Then fate intervened in the form of a film project that would change everything. In 2004, Brad was cast opposite Angelina Jolie in the action thriller Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The chemistry between them was undeniable, explosive even, translating from screen to real life in ways that tabloids would dissect for years to come. When the film was released in 2005, the world couldn't help but notice the palpable connection between the co-stars. Shortly after, Jennifer and Brad announced their separation, and the media erupted with speculation and accusations. Had Brad cheated? The question consumed gossip columns and entertainment news programs. While neither party explicitly confirmed an affair during the marriage, the timeline was suspicious. Almost immediately after the split was finalized, Brad and Angelina began appearing together publicly, confirming what many had suspected. They embarked on their own high-profile relationship, eventually building a large blended family and becoming one of Hollywood's most scrutinized couples. For Jennifer, the betrayal played out on a global stage. Every magazine cover, every late-night monologue joke, every sympathetic interview forced her to relive the pain. She was painted as the woman scorched, the wife abandoned for a more exotic, adventurous alternative. The public narrative, fair or not, cast her in the role of victim, a label she would spend years trying to shed. Decades later, after Brad and Angelina's own spectacular implosion, rumors swirled once more. Were Brad and Jennifer reconnecting? Photographs of them at industry events, seemingly friendly and comfortable with each other, sparked hope among fans who had never stopped rooting for a reunion. But both stars were quick to dispel such notions, insisting they had moved forward as friends with no romantic feelings remaining. The fairy tale, it seemed, was truly over, existing now only in the memories of fans who once believed in its magic. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. When heroism ends off screen, the set of the 2002 superhero film Daredevil became the unlikely birthplace of another doomed Hollywood romance. Ben Affleck, the Academy Award-winning screenwriter turned action star, and Jennifer Garner, the television darling transitioning to film, met while portraying hero and villain. But the circumstances of their meeting were complicated from the start. Ben was still entangled in his highly publicized relationship with Jennifer Lopez, a tabloid sensation that had given birth to the nickname Benifer and spawned countless magazine covers. Meanwhile, Garner was married to actor Scott Foley, her college sweetheart. Yet despite these attachments, something sparked between the co-stars, a connection that would not remain dormant for long. By 2003, Garner's marriage had ended in divorce. A year later, Ben and Jennifer Lopez officially called it quits, their relationship having buckled under the immense media pressure. The path was now clear, and Ben and Jennifer Garner wasted no time. They became engaged in April of 2005 and married just 2 months later in an intimate ceremony in Turks and Caicos. The speed was partly explained by Jennifer's pregnancy. She was 4 months along with their first child, a detail that added a sense of destiny to their union. For a decade, they projected the image of Hollywood stability. They welcomed 3 children: Violet, Serafina, and Samuel, building what appeared to be a grounded family life despite their celebrity status. Jennifer often spoke about prioritizing motherhood over career, while Ben navigated the ups and downs of his acting career, which included both critical acclaim and commercial disappointments. But in 2015, the illusion shattered. The couple announced their separation, and almost immediately, allegations surfaced that would taint Ben's public image. Reports claimed he had engaged in an affair with the family's nanny, a betrayal that struck at the heart of their domestic life. Ben vehemently denied the accusations, calling them complete fabrications designed to sell tabloids. Yet the damage was done. Whether true or false, the story became part of their narrative, another example of trust broken and vows abandoned. In the years since, both have moved forward, committing to co-parenting their children and maintaining a civil relationship for their sake. Ben has been open about his struggles with alcohol addiction, attending rehab multiple times and crediting Jennifer with supporting him through his darkest moments even after their separation. It is a bittersweet epilogue to a relationship that began with such promise, proving that even heroes sometimes fail when the cameras stop rolling. Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. When Disney magic fades, there exists a generation for whom Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens represent first love, not their own, but a projection of what young romance should be. When Disney Channel's High School Musical premiered in 2006, it became an instant cultural phenomenon, launching both actors into stratospheric fame virtually overnight. They were teenagers playing teenagers, singing about being in this together, and the line between fiction and reality blurred in ways that delighted fans. Behind the scenes, art was indeed imitating life. Zac and Vanessa, having met during the film's production in 2005, developed genuine feelings for each other. As the franchise exploded into sequels, concerts, and endless merchandise, their relationship deepened. They became the couple every young person wanted to emulate, wholesome yet passionate, famous yet seemingly normal. For years, they navigated fame together, attending premieres hand in hand, posting sweet messages on social media, and generally embodying relationship goals before that phrase even existed. But the pressures that come with being young, beautiful, and constantly in demand began taking their toll. In 2010, they quietly ended their relationship, leaving fans heartbroken and confused. Years later, Vanessa would open up about the reasons behind their split. She cited Zac's overwhelming female attention as a significant factor, explaining how difficult it was to maintain a relationship when thousands of women were throwing themselves at her boyfriend at every public appearance. The jealousy, the insecurity, the constant worry, it eroded the foundation of trust they had built. In 2015, Vanessa made another revelation that crushed the hopes of those still dreaming of a reunion. They no longer spoke at all. The relationship that had once seemed unbreakable had fractured so completely that they couldn't even maintain a friendship. Both have since moved on to other long-term relationships, but for a certain generation, they will always be Troy and Gabriella, frozen in time, forever young and in love in a high school gymnasium. Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey, the unlikely union on paper, they made no sense. Nick Cannon, the young comedian and television host still building his career, and Mariah Carey, the established superstar with a voice that defined a generation and record sales in the hundreds of millions. When news broke in 2008 that they were not just dating, but had married after only 2 months of courtship, the entertainment world was stunned. They had met 3 years earlier in 2005, but it wasn't until 2008 that their relationship became serious. And when it did, they moved with shocking speed, forgoing the typical Hollywood extended engagement for an impulsive leap into marriage. It seemed reckless, ill-advised, a union destined to fail given their vastly different career trajectories and age difference. But for a time, they proved the doubters wrong. In 2011, they welcomed twins, Monroe and Moroccan, and shared countless photos and videos showcasing their family life. Mariah even included Nick in her music videos and public appearances, something she had rarely done with previous partners. They seemed to have found an unconventional formula that worked. Yet, by 2014, that formula had failed. They announced their separation, and what followed was a difficult divorce process that played out in public. But here's where their story diverges from typical celebrity breakup narratives. Despite the pain and complications of ending their marriage, both Nick and Mariah committed to maintaining respect and civility. They spoke well of each other in interviews, co-parented effectively, and refused to engage in the public mudslinging that often characterizes high-profile divorces. Nick has since stated that his experience with Mariah convinced him marriage is not for him, a declaration he has maintained even while fathering multiple children with various partners in subsequent years. Maria, meanwhile, has been more private about her romantic life post-divorce, though she too has moved forward. Their relationship stands as a rare example of a celebrity couple who managed to separate with grace, putting their children's well-being above their own egos and grievances. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. The endless cycle. Few celebrity relationships have been as confusing, frustrating, and endlessly fascinating as the on-again, off-again saga of Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Their story began in 2009 when both were teenage stars navigating the treacherous waters of young fame. Justin was the pop sensation discovered on YouTube, his career ascending at dizzying speed. Selena was the Disney Channel actress transitioning to music, building her own empire of fans. They confirmed their relationship in 2010, and the Jelena phenomenon was born. Fans shipped them relentlessly, analyzing every social media post, every paparazzi photo, every cryptic song lyric for clues about their relationship status. For a while, they seemed like the perfect young couple, supporting each other's careers and weathering the intense scrutiny together. But in 2012, they split, and then they got back together, and then they split again, and got back together. The cycle became maddening, a constant source of speculation and confusion. During their breaks, Justin was linked to other women, including model Hailey Baldwin and Sophia Richie, while Selena dated singer The Weeknd, even attending the prestigious Met Gala with him, in what seemed like a definitive statement that she had moved on. Yet somehow, Justin always pulled her back in, or perhaps it was mutual, an inability to fully let go of their first love. After Selena and The Weeknd ended their relationship, she was spotted with Justin again within days, reigniting the cycle once more. Fans were exhausted, unable to keep track of whether Jelena was on or off at any given moment. The pattern finally broke when Justin married Hailey Baldwin in 2018, a whirlwind rekindling of their own relationship that led to a courthouse wedding followed by a larger ceremony. For the first time, it seemed truly over. Yet even now, years into Justin's marriage, dedicated fans refuse to believe Selena isn't his true soulmate. They analyze his lyrics, his interviews, his body language, searching for evidence that he still harbors feelings for his first love. It is a testament to how deeply invested the public becomes in celebrity relationships, projecting their own desires and romantic ideals onto people they have never met. Justin and Selena's relationship, messy and complicated as it was, represented young love in all its chaotic, passionate, irrational glory, and some fans simply cannot accept that such intensity doesn't guarantee forever. Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson. When reality television destroys reality, in an era before the Kardashians, before social media influencers, before constant connectivity, Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson made a pioneering decision that would change celebrity culture forever. They agreed to let cameras document their marriage for a reality television show called Newlyweds Nick and Jessica. It seemed like a fun idea, a way to share their love story with fans while also building their brands. What they didn't anticipate was how exposing every aspect of their relationship to public scrutiny would poison the very thing they were trying to celebrate. They had met at the Hollywood Christmas Parade in 1998, both young singers trying to make it in the music industry. They dated, broke up, reunited, and finally married in October of 2002 in a lavish ceremony that seemed to promise forever. The show premiered in 2003, and audiences were charmed by Jessica's ditzy persona and Nick's patient, loving husband routine. But reality television is a cruel medium. Every argument, every disagreement, every moment of friction was captured and aired for millions to watch and judge. The show turned Jessica into a household name, her fame eclipsing Nick's in ways that created resentment and imbalance in their relationship. By 2005, just 3 years after their wedding, they announced their separation. Jessica filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, and it was finalized in 2006. In subsequent interviews, both have admitted that their young age, the pressure of the show, and Jessica's skyrocketing fame all contributed to the marriage's demise. They simply couldn't handle the intensity of public scrutiny while trying to navigate the normal challenges of marriage. Nick moved on, marrying television personality Vanessa Lachey in 2011 and building a family with 3 children. Jessica also found happiness, marrying former NFL player Eric Johnson in 2014 and having 2 children. On the surface, both have found the stability that eluded them together. But the story took an interesting turn recently when Jessica released a memoir detailing her life, including her marriage to Nick. According to reports, the portrayal was not flattering to Nick, dredging up old wounds and presenting her side of the story in ways that painted him in a negative light. It seems that even decades later, the pain of that public relationship cannot fully heal, the scars still visible beneath the surface. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, the mystery that remains unsolved. We conclude our journey through Hollywood's messiest breakups with perhaps the most enigmatic of all. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' relationship and subsequent divorce remain shrouded in mystery, conspiracy theories, and unanswered questions. Their story is one of whirlwind romance, unexpected devotion, and an ending so abrupt and calculated it still defies complete understanding. They were dubbed Tomcat by an eager media when they began dating in 2005. Tom was Hollywood royalty, one of the biggest movie stars on the planet with a career spanning decades. Katie was the fresh-faced young actress from Dawson's Creek, suddenly thrust into a level of fame she had never experienced. Their age difference raised eyebrows, but what really captured attention was the intensity of Tom's public declarations of love. Who can forget the infamous Oprah Winfrey Show appearance in May 2005, when Tom literally jumped on the couch, pumping his fists in the air and proclaiming his love for Katie? It was a moment that became instantly iconic, endlessly parodied, and deeply controversial. To some, it was a beautiful display of unbridled joy. To others, it was unhinged, concerning behavior from a man who seemed to be trying too hard to convince the world, and perhaps himself, of his feelings. They made their red carpet debut as a couple in April 2005, and Tom proposed just 2 months later. The speed was dizzying. Katie became pregnant shortly thereafter, giving birth to their daughter Suri in 2006. For years, they maintained the image of a devoted couple, appearing at premieres together, speaking adoringly about each other, and seemingly building a life. If you found this journey through Hollywood's most chaotic relationships compelling, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. We'll continue exploring the fascinating, often troubling intersection of fame, fortune, and human emotion. And here's a question to ponder. Do you believe celebrity relationships are doomed from the start due to the pressures of fame? Or can true love survive even the harshest spotlight? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, remember that behind every headline is a human story, and even the rich and famous are not immune to heartbreak.